Hey, you guys, it's Amory. Happy What to Do Wednesday. Woo woo. Can I get a woo woo? Can I get a woo woo? Or maybe not. It's been a rough day. And of course, every time I get off work, I come home and take a nap. I take a little nappy nap. I sleep with the cats, and it's a little fun little thing that we do. At least it's fun for me. And I was about to say, as soon as I start petting my cat, I fall asleep. Anyway, my animal cats. I've been celibate for 2.5 years. Anyway, I wanted to share something with you, and I wanted to ask you a question. What are you willing to sacrifice for your manifestations? What are you willing to sacrifice for your dream, for your path, for your passion? What are you willing to sacrifice? And I ask that because I was doing reflection today. I was driving to the monthly meeting that we have at my new job. What's interesting is I was the an executive board member of the same exact place that I work at now many moons ago. I was like, I don't know. No, it's you, not me. How are you? Good. Some person drove by and the neighbor was getting his trash can. Someone was like, hey, Daddy. Of course, now it's fucking raining. Oh, well, my phone may get messed up, but I love the rain. Anyway, what are you willing to sacrifice for your manifestations, for your dreams? So on the way to this meeting today, the car's making a lot of noise because these brake pads, right? And I literally spent everything I had to get the car, and I saved a teeny bit of money because I always have to drop about $100 on the cats, like once a month for their cat food, their cat litter, and their treats and stuff like that. It's easy $100, right? So my money's really tight, and I don't get paid for a few more weeks, and so. But I really want to get these brake pads put on because the sound is so annoying, and because I'm neurodivergent and I have ADHD and just sound bothers me. I manage it, I can, but when I'm driving, I don't, I have to have the windows down because there's no air conditioning, right? Which is fine because I have a car. I'm grateful, and I think it might just need some Freon. But anyway, so as I'm driving, I said, gosh, I was only approved to work 25 hours. And I really needed to at least 30 hours a week to kind of make some shit happen. And make shit happen meaning to get a place to live. It's not going to be like one of the nicer places I've ever lived in. It'll probably start from the bottom again, which is fine. But it'll be mine. And that's my goal. I need my own space for me and my boys. And my cats. And so as I'm driving, then I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to pay to get the brake pads put on? Even though it's only $40, put them on. I think I might need rotors too. And, I'm just kind of like, oh, I got to get the tags, because I don't get paid for a couple weeks. And so, and I stopped myself, and I was like, Anne-Marie, Spirit always provides. You've learned this lesson about financial scarcity mindset, about worrying about how you're going to pay for stuff and what that energy does. And for me, when I worry about that stuff and I hyper focus on what I don't have and what I need to get, then I create more scarcity. I create that energy. And I broke that habit. And so I was like, I had to stop myself. I was like, it doesn't matter. Spirit always going to provide. I mean, you literally got a car 2 days before you started a new job. You literally found a place to stay the day before you planned, when I was already prepared and ready to sleep back in the Honda in Solomon from the Open Shelter in his driveway in the alley. Me and the cats, I had the padding ready. It was the winter. I was prepared to do it. I was willing to sacrifice whatever I need to do, right? And then right the nick of time, I was able to find a place to stay. And so I stopped it. I was like, nope, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna start worrying. We're going to still appreciate what we have. I'm not going to be bitching about how hot it is in my car with leather seats. It's 90 degrees out. Because that shows that I don't appreciate all the work that Spirit put in to support me, right? And a lot of times I didn't realize, when all the things have been happening the last couple years, I look back at all this stuff that I was willing to sacrifice for for my path, for my walk, for me. And I was the type of person who would never eat generic food, or, I would eat generic food, but, I was really bougie when it came to certain products and stuff like that. And then my body became a certain way where I had to buy certain, I can't use fluoride, I have to use like certain kind of toothpaste because my body has a reaction to fluoride now, same with deodorant. But anyway, and so I've learned what I can let go of, what I was willing to sacrifice for my path. And so after the meeting, I go back to the open shelter. Sarah comes back, who's my contact for my job, who works at the open shelter. It's great. I couldn't have manifested a better position. There's no position in social work, I should say, that I could have manifested better than this one. It, like a glove. So we're talking, and I was just processing some emotions about literally digging, scooping spoons of my mom. It bothers me, into a Ziploc baggie, right? And I was just processing it with her. I said, it's just a lot. I have a shirt, and I smelled her shirt, and it was just a lot yesterday. And she said, oh, I forgot to tell you, they approved you for 40 hours a week. Really? You don't have to work the 40 hours, but you're approved to up to 40 hours a week, at least for this month. And I'm like, that's exactly what I needed. Because I told Spirit today when I was driving, I just need to be able to bust out some hours, or to make some, just so I can get these things taken care of for the car, so I can focus on saving a couple checks to find it. Now it's really coming down. To find in a decent place to stay, because now they want first month's rent, last month's rent, fucking deposit, first blood. And my options are limited because I have that eviction. Even though it was a legal eviction, that's on my record. And so it's nearly impossible. I'm not going to worry about it because I'll figure it out. So anyway, I was able to get 40 hours a week. And I'm only telling you these things, sharing these things, so you can be mindful of the thoughts and the things that you tell yourself to. Hold on. Okay, now we're downstairs. It's so cold out here. Hi, Galaxy. My pussycat. And there's Peasy. You can't see him, but anyway. I forget where I ended off. I don't want to watch it and then redo it, but to really pay attention to what you're telling yourself, first of all, and also, what are you willing to sacrifice for your manifestations? Let's say you're like, I really want, I don't know, I really want, this job. I really want this job. Okay, so what are you willing to sacrifice to get that type of job? Or I really want my business to grow. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you able to get, when you're first starting out, are you able to accept that you may not be able to buy brand new clothes and get a fancy purse or whatever it is that it is for you? Take what resonates. And so I really thought a lot about part of manifesting for me. Everyone is different, but my manifestations work the way I do it. Obviously, I've shown that time and time again. Is what are you willing to sacrifice for it? And for me, it's the sacrifice. Not that we have to sacrifice to show spirit. This is just my opinion and my own experiences. You can have your own views and beliefs. It doesn't matter to me. But for me, I was willing to show spirit in the universe, the divine, my spirit guides, my ancestors. I'm willing to sacrifice everything for my freedom of my soul, freedom of my spirit, to finally have the life I've always wanted and dreamt of having. That has nothing to do materialistically of things. It's freedom from the matrix, freedom to be and show up who I really and truly am, because I refuse to show up in any environment, any place other than my divine self. I'm not denying my gifts. I'm not pretending. I'm not a healer. I don't like the word healer, but you know what I'm saying? And so ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice for your manifestations, for what you really want? And I'm not saying everyone has to do that. I'm just saying for me, I had to show spirit. Like, I had a lot of stuck mindsets, a lot of scarcity mindsets. You have to work this many hours a week, and I want to buy material things. I got to have matching purse and bags and blah, blah, and all that crap. And it was like, are you willing to sacrifice everything for this path, for your freedom, Anne Marie? Yeah. And I showed spirit. And now the tables have turned. Finally. I knew they would. I had faith. So what are you willing to sacrifice for your manifestations? I hope you're healthy and happy, you guys, and full of joy. May you love and be loved. Teal. Don't